Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamada Yapurnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Panah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmere Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Shanti Mantra. Om Apyayantu Mamangani Vak Pranaschakshushrotramatho Balamindriyani cha sarvani Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam Maham Brahma Nirakurya Mama Brahma Nirakarod Anirakaranamastva Nirakaranam me astu Tadatmani Nirateya Upanishatsu Dharmaha Te mai santu Te mai santu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sayam Devata Ikshata Hanta Amimaha Tisro Devataha Anena Jivena Atmana Anupravishya Namrupe Vyakarvaniti. We discussed this passage how this Devata called Sat, which is Sat Chit Ananda Param Brahma, Ikshata saw, visualized, deliberated, having created the three elements, the fire, water and earth, then further deliberation takes place, meaning further process of creation takes place in the form of entering these three elements, meaning identifying with those three elements, enlivening those three elements. So the example can be, here is a bucket of water and the sun is shining in the sky. The sun says, may I enter this water and enliven the water. So what's the nature of entry? The sun gets reflected in water. Looks like the sun is in the water. To the one who does not know what the reality is, may think that the sun is in there. So sun says, may I enter this water? If sun himself entered the water, then that he would never come out, meaning that if this Paramatma became a samsari, then he cannot become liberated. if he got transformed into a samsari. That was the question. Why should Paramatma have to enter this samsara and suffer? But then he does not enter. Like Devadatta enters a house, he enters like the sun enters the water. So looks like the reflection. Now, the nature of reflection is influenced by the reflecting medium. No doubt the sun is reflected, but the reflection may look dull if the water is dirty. The reflection may look unsteady if the water is unsteady. The reflection looks small if the pool of water is small. So how the reflection looks is determined by the reflecting medium, not by the sun. So that is something called entry. Like that, Paramatma entered here. Not enter in a primary sense, like the sun entering the water, meaning the sun getting reflected in water. So you can say Sat or Paramatma got reflected here. And just as by reflecting in water, the water becomes illumined because of the sun. And that water in the bucket, which by itself is free, devoid of any light. But because of the reflection of the sun, the water as though becomes lighted, and it can also illumine a dark place, you see. Sometimes it happens that there is a dark room in which there is a bucket, and from a little aperture, a ray of sun enters and falls into the water of the bucket. Then the water becomes like, illumined, and illumines the dark room. And so also like the consciousness being reflected in the upadhi gets enlivened, and that's how it becomes sentient. So that's how the entry and sentience are explained. Not that Paramatma enters in a primary sense and becomes bound in a primary sense. Entry is like entry of the sun in the water. But here is the problem. Sun thinks that I am that. Suppose the sun starts thinking that is what I am, the reflection I am dull, I am small, I am one among many, I am restless. Looking at the reflection, suppose sun draws this kind of opinions about itself and takes those opinions to be real and suffers. Even the sun is steady and bright and and vast, but on account of taking the reflection to be itself. This is also, note the difference in which I am saying. Not you look at the reflection, sun looks at the reflection. And sun draws this conclusion that I am small, I am one among many, I am dull, I am restless. Because that is how the reflection looks like. Because how the reflection looks like is determined by the reflecting medium, namely water. So there can be dirt in the water. Water surface can be restless. Water pool would be small. And by equating itself with the reflection, sun is as though superimposing all those limitations of reflection about itself and drawing opinion about itself. Similarly also, there is this reflection of consciousness, let's say in the mind. The mind is very insignificantly small. Mind is one among countless. Mind may be restless. Mind may have the impurity of rajas and tamas. And so the self, the consciousness, looking at its reflection in the mind, thinks that I am one among countless. Because minds are countless. Reflections are countless. I am insignificant because mind is insignificant, so reflection looks insignificant. I'm restless because mind is restless. That is how we entertain so many opinions about ourselves. Not necessarily by looking at ourselves, but by looking at our reflections in the mind. And this is how various complexes are created. To explain this, why do we think the way we think about ourselves? Upanishad wants to first explain, why do we think the way we do? Why do we think the world is real? Because the Sat has created these names and forms and they look tangible and real, so we take it to be real. Why do we take ourselves to be limited? To explain that is other thing, that it entered here. This entry is simply to explain the sense of limitedness and smallness and whatever we feel about ourselves. Just as the sun, by identifying with the reflection or taking reflection to its own self, may draw a variety of conclusions about itself, and so also the consciousness, I, the limitless. Because I'll take that reflection to be real, I have these opinions about myself. So this is how we understand the life. How this universe came about, universe names and form came about. So that is explained how Sat alone manifests all this. How did Jiva come about? Sat alone manifests as Jiva. Jivena Atmana Anupravishya. So this world of names and forms is nothing but Sat. That is explained by showing how Sat has become all this through fire and water and earth and so forth, and Trivritkaranam and threefold combination. And then how the same consciousness has become Jiva by so-called entering, identifying, being reflected, and that is how entertaining so many wrong opinions or conclusions or perception about itself. So life is explained. So Vedanta first explains life, which is the result of what we call adhyaropa, superimposition. So two kinds of superimpositions are there. One is called Ishvara Srishti, other is called Jiva Srishti. Srishti means superimposition. So when Ishvara carries out superimposition, upon that the Jiva carries out superimposition. So Ishvara superimposition, Ishvara Srishti, then the whole universe of names and forms is there created. That is not samsara. All that is body, mind, sense complex is created also is not samsara. That Chaitanya or consciousness is the self in this body, mind, sense complex also is not samsara. But to take as real what is mithya, vacharambham, vikaro namadhyam. This vikara, the transformation, modification, effect, names and forms are vacharambham. They have no reality more than the word. Now that we do not see. So Ishvara has created a mithya jagat. You follow? That is fine. That's for entertainment. Mithya is more entertaining than real thing, Movie is more entertaining than real life. And Ishvara has created this upadhi of body, mind, sense complex, has entered here to function. So Shiva has become Jiva to enjoy the world. Do it. There is no samsara. What is samsara? Our misconceptions create all samsara. Samsara means sorrow. It's not the world that creates the sorrow. If I understand the world of creation or what it is, that is vacharambhanam. It is mithya, it is an appearance, then it's no problem. If I understand that what we call jiva is really consciousness, That all limitedness belongs to the upadi, to the vesha, the costume. And I am the wearer of the costume, limitless, no problem. Meaning that, regardless of how things are, that there is a world in front of us. And there we are functioning through this limited body-mind sense complex. In itself, that is not a problem. In itself, that does not have to cause unhappiness. It is a misconception that causes unhappiness. This should become very clear. Giving reality to this mithya is what causes unhappiness, because then I expect something which it cannot fulfill. I mean, after all, this is a bunch of grapes, whatever it is. Now, from a distance, it may look like this is a real grape. It's so well made. Swami keeps on showing it. So I wait for the class to be over. Everybody to leave the classroom. I can quietly pluck a few of this and taste them, because it's very tempting. My mouth is watering. I'm waiting for the class to be over and for everybody to leave. Then I pick it up and this is just made of rubber again, plastic, whatever, yeah. So that is why I'm disappointed. This has not disappointed me. My notion about this has disappointed me, understand? You can't blame this, the world is like this and like this, and the relatives are like that, those are like that. Nobody is like anything. People keep on, the Hindu people keep on blaming this. Jagat, the world is like that, or relatives are like that. Ninda. Ninda of the Jagat, Ninda of the women, Ninda of the relative, Ninda of Vishaya, Ninda, all kinds of things. That may be all that as a prakriya. But to condemn anything is not right. Nothing deserves to be condemned, everything deserves to be respected and revered, because Sarvam Khalvidam, so Sarvam Brahmopanishad, everything is Brahma. So the reason why it is condemned, so that you get disillusion, and therefore you just drop it, and that's how to create vairagya. But nothing has to be condemned. Everything is Brahman, meaning beautiful, wonderful as it is. If something has to be condemned, it's not Ishvara Srushti is not to be condemned. Jiva Srushti can be condemned if you want. That is my problem, that I look upon this bunch of grace as real, and then my expectations arise, and then there is an action of acquiring it or stealing it sometimes, you know. You get it by fair or foul means, because you want to taste it now. You can't control yourself. So dharma, adharma, everything comes. I shouldn't blame this thing. It is my expectation from this, which expectations arose by a wrong understanding of this. If I knew that grape for what it is, even expectation would not have arisen. Then I can enjoy it from a distance. That doesn't matter whether it is with Swami or with yourself. See, you're so that's called vairagya. Then the kind of relation that we have with this one is vairagya. I don't hate this, nor am I attached to it. You can love it, enjoy it. Attachment means I must have it. Hate means I can't stand it. If I understand this for what it is, I enjoy it. Meaning what is enjoyable. If you understand it for what it is. No more, no less. But what we do is, Ishvara Srushti is there, and Jiva also is Ishvara Srushti. Now then there is Jiva Srushti. We superimpose reality upon what is unreal. And then smallness upon what is limitless. Manyness upon what is one. That is Jiva Srushti, meaning creation of an individual. Why do you use by? Ignorance. So ignorance of the universe creates in me this notion that universe is real, and the ignorance of the self creates in me the notion that I am confined to this body, mind, sense complex, that I am a limited being. So these are the Jiva Srishti. What is Jiva Srishti? Superimposition carried out by Jiva. Ishvara's superimposition is there in terms of insentient and sentient creation. Why did he do that? Well, he did it. There is no answer as to why this creation is. Mandukya Karika explores some 22 different possibilities, some number of possibilities, nothing is satisfactory. Conclusion, Devas Chesha Svabhavayam Atmakamasya Kaspruha. This is nature of Devata, nature of Bhagavan, just to manifest. Why? I mean, you can't ask why. A king just feels like, okay, he changes the dress and goes out, and he's king, he's a sovereign. So sovereign can do anything. Similarly, Ishvara can do anything. If the sovereign does something to hurt others, then it can be questioned. But if he changes his dress and sometimes we hear the stories how king used to change the dress and then go as ordinary people to watch what's going on. And or king also organizes a play and he plays in that. See, Leela Vattu Kaivalyam. So this is how Leela. So even Brahma Sutra explains. This creation is Lokavat Leela Kaivalyam. Just as there is a Leela in the day-to-day life, so this is Leela of the Lord. Leela means what? Sport. In sport there is no question. In cricket, why do you have 22 yards behind the pitch? Why are there only 3 stumps and not 4? Why is the bat this dimension? Why ball is like that? Why is it so? It is so. Why 11 players? Why not 12? Why not 6? Why 5 days? So that's what they make it one day, ODI, one day international. 50 hours. That also is too much because that requires long, 20 hours. People now want to reduce it to 10 hours. Why? Because it's all fancy anyway. All fancy. Why is it like that? Fancy. Who's fancy? Ishvara's fancy. You can enjoy Ishvara's fancy. The problem is that we superimpose reality upon that which is mithya, and limitedness upon that which is limitless. So Ishvara Srishti doesn't have to go. For being liberated, for being happy, Ishvara Srishti doesn't have to go. The Jiva Srishti has to go. Jiva Srishti is the product of ignorance. Ishvara Srishti can be called a product of cosmic ignorance. It's called Maya. In Maya there is freedom. In ignorance there is bondage. So when Ishvara creates with Maya, he creates with freedom. When we are serving ignorance, then we are bound by ignorance. That's the model. So now this Adhyaropa is explained. How the Devata called Sat created the Srishti of name and form and created the individual called Jiva. That is the Adhyaropa. Upon that, we have the Adhyaropa, where we take this world as it appears, not that we take these ornaments as ornaments, not realizing that it is gold. So that is what creates samsara. To think that this is only a bangle, and this is only an earring, and this is only a chain, and each one is different from the other, and one is beautiful, other is not beautiful. That is samsara. This is not samsara. So now we have to be. So how to now eliminate the Jiva Srishti? My enabling is to recognize that this is what appears is mithya, then what is satyam? This has to be shown to us. So now apavada starts. Adhyaropa, apavada. This is the Vedanta's prakriya or method of communication. Adhyaropa apavadena nyayena nishprapancham prapanchade. But the adhyaropa apavada, what cannot be, what transcends prapancha is made to be understood by the method of adhyaropa and apavada. Now, Shruti has done adhyaropa. In terms of superimposing names and forms on Satya, on Sat, and superimposing the Jivatvam upon the Atma, Sat. So now Shruti herself will do the apavada and show that what appears to be the universe of names and forms is really Sat. So we have to see that just as a goldsmith helps us understand that this bangle is nothing but gold, this chain is nothing but gold. Look at the chain, what is it? Nothing but an assembly of rings, is it not? What's a chain? Assembly of rings. What's a ring? Nothing but a wire. What is wire? Nothing but gold. So it is a matter of helping us to see what is, not that you would imagine something. What is gold? And gold alone appears as chain, appears as bangle. That is glory of gold. Gold decides to appear like that. Why? That's its fancy. But then we take every individual separate from the other, and one is desirable, and I like a bangle, I hate this ornament, I don't like this. Likes and dislikes, all of this is our creation. So now Shruti proceeds, reverses the process, apavada, and helps us see Brahman everywhere, Sat everywhere. So let us take the next passage. Passage number 8. Yadagnehe rohitam rupam tejasaha tadrupam yat shuklam tad apam yat krishnam tat annasya apagat agnehe agnitvam vacharambhanam vikaro namadheyam trirupani ityeva satyam. So now the teacher draws our attention to the various entities obtaining in the universe. So for example, now the various entities which we see with our eyes, they are taken as illustration. Like fire we see, sun, moon, lightning. So these are all the lighted objects. Our attention is drawn to them to show how they are nothing but Brahman. But that will be done in stages. First of all, what we are told is this. Look at the, what you call fire, look at it a little closely. You find that primarily the color of the flame is red. But now and then there also you see some white color. Sometimes you see the black color. So in fire also, even though primarily there is red color, sometimes there is white color, sometimes there is black color also. Meaning that what we call fire really is made up of three colors, red, white and black. So now the Shruti says, Yat Agnehe Rohitam. Rohitam means red. Yat Agnehe, see the translation. The Rohitam Rupam Agnehe, the red color. Rohitam Rupam Agnehe, that the fire has. Tejasa Tadrupam, that is the color of the subtle fire. You remember that this physical creation that we see is a product of the, is a result of the gross 5 elements, or gross 3 elements. And the grossification happened by Trivut Karanam, where the tamas aspect of the 3 elements combined with each other to become the gross 3 elements. Remember that. So when these elements are created, they are in the subtle state. From the subtle states of these elements, the subtle body is formed. As we say, from the sattva aspect of the element, the organs of perception and the mind. From the rajas aspect of the element, the organs of action and prana. And then tamas aspect combines intercombination. That's how they become grossified, and from there the gross world of names and forms and the gross body are formed. Remember this. So what we perceive is the gross world, which is the result of the Panchikaranam, or Trivut Karanam, the combination of the elements with each other. That's what we see. So fire that we see, the gross fire, which is the combination of three elements: subtle fire, subtle water, and subtle earth. Combined is a gross fire. So therefore the Upanishad says, when you look at the fire, the red color that you see in the fire, understand that that is the red color of the subtle element fire. So you are seeing the subtle element. In the gross fire, the red color belongs to the element fire in the subtle state. In the fire, sometimes the white color, that belongs to the element subtle, element water. And the black color that you see belongs to the element earth, subtle. Subtle fire, subtle water, subtle earth. So thus, what is this fire? The fire that you perceive is nothing but a combination of 3 colors. What are 3 colors? The red, the white, and the black. So the Upanishad shows how the whole universe is made up of 3 colors. Wherever you see, what do you see? The play of 3 colors. So then they say, look at the moon. The white color that you see, of course, is water. Sometimes the moon appears red also. That's the color of the element fire. Sometimes it appears black, then I have to see. I don't know whether such a thing is there or not, but then that is the element earth. And then look at the sun. So sun also is generally red. Sometimes it may be white, sometimes black. So red color in the sun is the element fire. The white color in the sun is the element water. The black color in the sun is the element earth. So fire, sun, moon, lightning. In all these lighted objects which we see with our eyes, we find that all of them, each one of them is a combination of 3 colors: red, white, and black. What is red? The subtle element fire. What is white? The subtle element water. What is black? The subtle element earth. So what is that? That is why the Upanishad said, Yat agnehe rohitam rupam tejasa tad rupam. That which is red color in the fire is the color of the subtle element fire. Yat shuklam tad apam. The white color that you see in the fire is the color of the subtle element water. Yet Krishnam tat annasya, and the black color that you see in fire is the color of the subtle element earth. So now you see. So now what do you see? Just three colors. So now Upanishad helps us see that what you think is fire is nothing but those three colors. Is there anything more than that? Fire is nothing but these three colors. And therefore, moment you focus your attention on the three colors, the fire no more remains in your mind. As you said the other day, hey, this is already gone. Wow, poor thing. It's actually broken. Huh? No, I am not asking who did it. I'm just saying poor thing is gone, but maybe that's what I think somebody wanted. Because we keep on saying what happens if it drops down. So then this is what it is. The name changes, the form changes, the clay remains. So it's a demonstration. No, but there are some more pieces. But anyway, that's okay. And there is one here anyway, still. Let's see how long it remains safe, but it's so far it's there. So when this little part is held before us, then the red color, what color would you call it? Red color or this? Huh? Brown color, okay. So brown color that you see belongs to clay. So what is this object? Brown color. What is it? Clay. So moment you see this object as brown color, and then we see it as clay, then the potness is gone. Right now when you look at this object, it creates in your mind the word pot and the thought corresponding to the word pot, right? That's what happens whether you know it or not. Moment you see this object, in your mind the thought flashes, pot, and the corresponding form. So form creates the thought in the word. Now when we invite you to look at this object closely and see that the color brown that you see is nothing but the clay, that means this object is nothing but brown, which is clay. So when you focus your attention on the brownness of this object and clayness of this object, because it is there. So moment now your mind is filled with the idea of clay, the word clay and the thought clay. Formerly the word pot and thought pot. But now when you look at it properly, closely, you find that this is clay. So a change takes place in your mind. Where formerly there was the word pot, now there is the word clay. And when there was so, and the thought pot, the thought clay. The word and thought pot. The word pot and thought pot are now replaced by the word clay and the thought clay. Does it make sense? Does it happen in your mind? Maybe this may be easier, So right now, the word is bangle and the thought is bangle. So look at this. The yellow color and the glitter that you experience belongs to gold. So then when you see, yes, that's right, that this is gold, because you know what gold is. So now then, when you look at this object as gold, a corresponding, the perception changes from bangle to gold, a corresponding change happens in the mind also, that now the word bangle is replaced by the word gold, and the thought bangle is replaced by the thought gold. Is it not so? That transformation is important. That should take place. That's called knowledge. That is the knowledge of this thing. That when you know this object as gold instead of bangle, then you have known this object. Then we can proceed further also. Then what is called Gold is nothing but asti bhati priyam. That will be the next step. But right now, what the teacher is showing to Shvetaketu. Hey Shvetaketu, look at the fire. What do you see? I see red color, and that belongs to the subtle element fire. I see white color, that belongs to subtle element water. I see black color, that belongs to the subtle element earth. So when now Shvetaketu sees that, the word fire and the thought fire is replaced by the three colors. So fire is gone from the mind, is it not so? What remains is three colors. Just as Bengal is gone from the mind, what remains is gold. The pot is gone from the mind, what remains is clay. Fire is gone, what remains is three colors. Apagat agnehe agnitvam. The text says, Apagat agnehe agnitvam. Thus vanishes the firehood of the fire. Agni means fire. Agnitvam, fireness. It says firehood, all right, fireness, firehood. So, there is an object called Agni. Agnitvam is gone. What remains? The three colors remain. So, Trini Rupani Ityeva Satyam. The Agni reduces to what? The three colors. The process of reduction. See, what is Adhyaropa is process of superimposition. Apavada is reduction. So now we reduce this fire to three colors because that's what it is. It's not that we are imagining, that's what it is. Reducing the Bengal into gold and gold into earth and earth into molecules, then to atoms and then to sub. So the teacher gives a number of examples. Fire, then sun, then moon, then lightning. In each case you can see that the sun no more remains sun, reduces to three colors. The moon no more remains moon, reduces to three colors. Lightning no more remains lightning, reduces to three colors. So what is this play of what? Three colors? And therefore, the text says that those who realize this, for them, the whole universe was nothing but the play of three colors. And then read the passage number 9. Yadva vijñātam iva abhūt iti etāsām eva devatānām samāsah iti tadvidān chakruhu. So the Upanishad reports that the wise people of the yore, the wise people of the past, who realized this, they saw that the whole universe of names and forms was nothing but the play of three colors or three elements. Then, yadva vijñātam abhūt. What is that? Can somebody tell me? Yadva vijñātam abhūt? I won't, I will understand if you cannot tell me. But in case, if somebody can say what the sandhi is. Yaduhu? No, not who. Yad u avijñātam. Yad u avijñātam. U and I becomes what? Va. So yad u, yadu avijñātam, yadva vijñātam. No, yat u, yadu, and avijñātam. So yadva vijñātam. That's just to tease you, that's all. I knew that it's difficult because unless you have if you have the text in front of you and then it has already shown you, then you can say, no, you can recognize yourself, of course, if you're smart. So yadu avijñātam iva bhūt. So those wise people of the old knew everything as nothing but the play of the three colors. But there are some objects that you cannot make out what they are, Into avijñātam. And so something like, there are some objects like a pigeon, for example. What is that color? And sometimes, then sometimes the red and white and black are not very evident in some entities. But since in majority of the things you have discovered that what is the combination of three colors, you know that even when you cannot clearly recognize the three colors, is definitely nothing but the combination of three colors. That's how they knew. So this knowledge has to take place. Now this knowledge takes place in the mind. It is not when you see the fire, then the fireness goes away in the mind. Physically the fire remains. In the mind the fireness goes away, and what remains is three colors. In the mind the sun Aditya goes away, what remains is three colors. In the mind all the names and forms go away, and what remains is three colors. So knowledge takes place in mind. And that is by what we call vichara. So what the eyes reveal is just these gross objects and names and forms. But by vichara, by deliberation, when we try to understand what it is with the help of the Shruti, then we realize that what appears to be different objects, such as fire, sun, etc., are nothing but the combination or play of the three colors. And where those three colors may not be very clear, now we know that all there is just three colors. And therefore, in the mind of this wise person, the whole universe reduces to what? The play of three colors. So yadu avijñātam iva bhūt. What again appears unknown. Unknown means that which clearly cannot be seen as the combination of these colors. Etāsā devatānaṁ samāsayati tadvidān chakruhu. That they knew was the combination of these three very gods or three very elements. The subtle element fire, water and earth. So this is the first level of reduction. That the gross universe of names and forms is reduced to the play of the three elements. The reverse process. First we were shown the creation of three elements. And then Devata said, I am going to now manifest names and forms by the threefold combination. So names and forms are manifest. So now we are going back. The purpose of describing creation in Vedanta is not so much to give reality to creation, but a sequence of creation is described, so that we can trace back the source of the same sequence in a reverse way. You follow? The reason why the sequence is from Atma came the space and air and fire and water and earth and this, that and whatnot. The purpose is we can see that what is earth is nothing but water. What is water is nothing but fire, is nothing but air, nothing but space, nothing but Prakriti, nothing but Atma. So this, to enable us to go back to the source, is the purpose of describing the creation in a certain sequence. We may find that sequence different in different texts, and you wonder what is going on here. I mean, they seem to have different opinions. So scholars believe that every Upanishad says different things. But different things are different prakriyas basically to help us see the truth. So every teacher may employ different methodology to enable the student to see. So here this is a methodology. Other Upanishads have a different methodology. But idea is how to make the student see the reality, truth. How go from effect to the cause, from to its own cause, to the original cause. Then let us read the passage further, passage number 9. Yatha khalunu soumya imaha tisro devataha purusham prapya trivrit ekaika bhavati tanme vijanehi iti. So we are taught how to see the three colors there. How about ourselves? So here also we have to see how those three elements alone is made of the individual personality, the sentient being. As far as insentient entities are concerned, now we see how all of them are the manifestation of the three elements: subtle fire, subtle water, subtle earth. How about the individual sentient being who eats and drinks? So now teacher says, because two entities are there, insentient and sentient, therefore they have to be treated separately, because by knowing the three elements by Sat, not only do you know the whole world which is manifestation of Sat, but you know also the individual Atma who is also manifestation of Sat. The world is manifestation of Sat because Sat got transformed as his world, the Upadana Karana. The Jiva is not the product or karya of Sat. That is why Jiva is not created. The world is created. Jiva is not creation. Who is Jiva? So it is said that Sat said that I will enter this Upadhi as Jiva, meaning that the one that obtains as Jiva here is none other than Sat. So Sat assumed the role of Jiva. So right now he is talking that Jiva is none other than Sat. One is listening also that Jiva is also none other than Sat. That the Sat or Satchidananda alone entered here. Anena Jivena Atmana. You lose some words by the way. Anupravishya Navrupe Vyakarvanetri. I will enter, having entered this Upadhi as Jivatma, now I will manifest name and form. So Jivatma is not created. The Sat alone has come here as Jivatma. You follow? That's the difference. As far as the world is concerned, it's the creation where Sat God manifested appears as this. Here Sat himself is Jiva. So by knowing the Sat as a cause, you know the universe. By knowing Sat as Atma, you know the sentient. That's how insentient and sentient both are known by knowing Sat. If Sat is only universe of names and forms, and by knowing Sat, you know the universe. But how about this fellow? He is not product of Sat. He is Sat himself, functioning or acting as Jiva. So when you know this Jiva, Sat, you know the Jiva also. So when you know everything by knowing Sat, you know this world of names and forms as the creation of Sat, and you know the sentient being Jivas as none other than Sat. And that's how by knowing Sat, you know everything. This is Prakriya here. So having dealt with that, now it has to deal with this, that how those three elements are here now. The three elements appear as colors there in the universe. How do they appear here? So now Father says, Yatha khalanu somya. O good looking one. Yatha imaha tisro devataha. How these three gods, three elements, Purusham prapya. Those three elements, when they come to this Purusha, Purusha means the Jiva, individual. Not only human being, but any living being. A human being is easy for us to understand. What happens in mosquitoes and cockroaches, I do not know, but similar process may be happening there also. But here we know what's happening in our body, so that is an easy illustration. Purusham prapya. how these three elements, when they come in contact with this person, they become threefold and threefold. So just as in outside world also the threefold combination was there, similarly also here, how each element gets divided into three when it comes here. How is it so? Let's read the next passage. Annam ashitam tredha vidhiyate tasya yaha stavishto dhatuho tat purisham bhavati yo madhyamaha tan mamsam yaha anishtaha tan manaha. This is a prakriya, threefold, threefold, threefold. So then you see everything threefold. Annam ashitam treda vidhiyate. Now open our day-to-day experience. Annam ashitam, when food is eaten, dal, chapati, rice, etc., all that when you eat. Tredha vidhiyate. It becomes divided in three ways. The food, the solid food that we eat. Understand that now, whatever it is a combination of three elements. Even the food looks like predominantly in earth, but there is water also in there and fire also in there, because in each gross element all the three are contained. But food, so the food that we eat actually is these three elements. The fire, water and earth, these three elements we eat. No, so I don't eat fire, Swami. Water I drink, earth I don't. Earth means food. So annam we eat, water we drink. And what is fire? This clarified butter, ghee, oil, they are called fire. Do you know when you want to light fire, you use ghee or oil because fire is in them. How can you get the flame when you light a lamp? You light a lamp where the wick is soaked in ghee or oil, then there is fire. Where did it come from? The ghee contains fire, then only there can be flame. Is it not so? Try with water. Try filling that little thing with water, that lamp, and strike a match. Will you get a flame? Why not? Because in water that fire is not there. Isn't it? But take ghee. You can light a lamp from, because ghee has potential fire in there. Oil also potential fire. So ghee, oil, etc. are element fire. So thus in our day-to-day food we are eating, or we should be eating, all the three elements. Earth, water and fire. So vrihyavadi, like the rice and barley and stuff like that we eat, is annam. Water that we drink is, of course, apaha, water. And ghee and oil, etc. that we take is fire. The doctors don't like you to take them. There are, notions about what ghee does to you and oil does to you, and stop eating, and then, but then there will be no fire in the body. Just wait for a minute, then anyway, so now this says when you eat annam. So we are eating all the three elements. Earth we are eating by way of annam, food, water by way of water, and fire by way of this sneha, like ghee, oil, etc. So annam ashitam, when the food is consumed, tredha vidhyate, it becomes divided. Now in the process of digestion in our body, the food gets divided in threefold ways. Tasya stavishto dhatuhu. So that which is the stavishta, the grossest ingredient, The food that we eat, the grossest ingredient, what happens to that? Tat purisham bhavati. It turns into feces. It is rejected. The grossest element of the food. Yo madhyamaha. So food has a gross element, a middle element, and a subtle element. So gross elements is rejected. The subtle element says then mamsam bhavati. The middle part of the food becomes mamsa, becomes flesh. Ye anishtha tan manaha. That which is the subtlest part of the food becomes mind. Would you believe that? And so Shankaracharya explains here. So anutamo dhatus urdhvam hridayam prapya sukshma suhitakhya su nadeshu anupravishya. So now the digestion takes place in stomach. The mind is above. That means that this aspect, subtle aspect of the food nourishes the mind. That's what this passage says. How does it do that? It has to travel from the stomach all the way up to the brain, to the mind, to nourish the mind. So that's why it's called subtle. You know refinery. In refinery you process the crude oil, which is very crude and gross. And then it is heated or boiled. And slowly there are huge columns. And at different levels they withdraw different products. So that's how from crude oil you get so many kinds of products. The final product is called gasoline. And there also the different categories. Which is subtlest. So the grossest aspect of crude oil is rejected. The middle aspect of crude oil gets tapped into different other products. It rises. The subtlest aspect rises to the top and becomes gasoline. Something like that takes place in our body. Eat the food, it goes into stomach, there it gets heated and gets churned. As a result, the grossest thing remains there and is rejected by apanavayu. The middle one gets distributed in the body, becomes mams or flesh. The subtlest element rises up because it is subtle. It is very light. So naturally, because of a low specific gravity, it will rise like the gasoline rises. So urdhvam hridayam, from stomach it comes to the heart. Now from the heart, number of nadis, the number of nerves emanate from the heart. So urdhva sukshma su nadishu. From the heart, that subtle aspect goes to very fine nerves called hita. Anupravishya vagadi karanasangatis sthiti utpadayan. In the process, it also helps this element, these organs such as speech, etc., by helping to continue. The speech also is nourished, or speech also is helped to continue its function. Manorupeshu viparinaman. The subtle aspect of the food gets transformed as mind by the time it comes here, and upachayam karoti, it nourishes the mind, and thus becomes the mind. I don't know, is it scientific? This is Vedanta. The thing is, now Swami, this is not scientific. Well, anyway, I don't know if science knows this or not. But the thing is, what Vedanta tells us is that the mind is nourished by or is made up of the food, the subtlest aspect of food. Very important. That is why in the Hindu culture, food has a great importance. A lot of thought is given to the diet, which I do not think is much done in other kind of cultures, because Swamiji, they don't do this, they don't know it. You see, the thing is, they don't have classes because they don't know. If you know, then you can organize yourself. Just because they did not know many things. Swami, they don't know, they don't accept previous birth because they have not thought about it. Other people are, these rishis were very, very sophisticated knowers, not only thinkers, knowers. And that is why this is such a rich culture. But we think that this is all superfluous, what it does not, is not verified by other cultures is all wrong. You believe in previous birth and all karma, law of karma. They don't understand law of karma. So they don't believe in it. You don't know, so you don't believe. That's all nonsense. I don't know science, so I don't believe in science. What are you talking about? Science says that I don't believe. Because I don't understand. Similarly, also not believing things because you don't understand is a very, very gross and a way of looking at things. But here the sages have, you can see they were deliberate upon every aspect of life and arrived at very subtle principles in everything. So just because the West does not have law of karma, you fellows believe law of karma, and that is why. So what they do is, not only they hide their ignorance, but they accuse you of being fatalist because you are fatalist because you believe in law. It's not a matter of believing. Law of gravity, whether you believe or not, is there anyway. Because you believe in law of gravity, you fall down. What do you mean? If you did not believe in law of gravity, you did not fall down? Because you believe in law of karma, therefore you are fatalist. Whether you believe or not, there is karma and karma phala. It's a law of cause and effect. With the question of believing or not, it's a law, it's an order. No, we don't believe. You may not. Then you're deprived. The thing is, less you know, less sophisticated you are. This is the most sophisticated system of thinking. Intellectually, emotionally, and psychologically, spiritually, in every way. Look at the Yoga Shastra, the most sophisticated thing. Nowhere in the world there is anything that addresses the psychology and mind like this. It is mind-boggling. What all they tell you, what they have done. Also, there, look at all these upasanas, meditations that are developed here. What is meditation? There are hundreds of kinds of meditations here. The Shaktas develop something, the Shaivas develop this, the Vaishnavas develop this. You can dismiss them all as, you cannot. You should know what it is before you can dismiss. And so, it's a very, very sophisticated system in every way. That doesn't mean that we would blindly accept it or blindly follow it. I'm not suggesting. If what they tell you seems to contradict what your intellect says, keep it aside. But if what they tell you contradicts what the science says, think about it. Meaning that I'm not suggesting that we just swallow what is said here. But certainly we give it a consideration as to whether it makes sense or not. I should apply my intellect and thinking in first understanding. And even if I don't understand, I still give them the benefit that maybe my intellect has to grow to understand what they say. Not brand that they're wrong. Here we are so arrogant. Just because I don't understand, it's all wrong. Like a child telling his grandfather, you're wrong. You may say so. But you have to become mature to understand what he's saying. Anyway, like coming back to this, the idea is that, so this says that, this is not something that can be verified scientifically. Because mind is not a substance that you can take in a laboratory and analyze what it is made of, like a sample of blood, whether the element of food is there or not. I don't believe in it. You don't believe. But because it is said here, that is why so much attention is paid to the diet. The tamasic diet, the rajasic diet, the sattvic diet. Our friend is saying yesterday, the Swami, all impure things we are eating, and how can we expect our children to think correct? That is true. But they said here, and listen, annamayami somya manaha, the mind is made up of food, or subtle element of food. And so, in all languages of India, there is always a saying equivalent to this, That as the food, so the mind. In English, you are what you eat. That's what they say. And therefore, what you eat is very important. Not only sattvic, but then in terms of purity. First of all, what you eat is choose sattvic, rajas, tamas food. But in sattvic also, as he says, Swami, there is a lot of pollution. Now that is another thing. But the thing is, what you eat is important as far as your mind is concerned. That's what this is saying. We'll continue. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.